How's it going, everybody? We are here with Jeff from the band Rains. How you doing, Jeff?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing real well. We're going to talk to Jeff a little bit about the new record they got out called Stories, also the new tour that they're on. Been hearing a lot of great things about it. How's the road been with Five Finger Death Punch?
It's been absolutely incredible. The bands have been awesome. I mean, everybody's just cool. You know, the whole production crew, everybody's been awesome. And the fans have been, fan response has been pretty amazing, too.
That's great. How did you guys get associated with the tour? I know there was Rev Theory was on for a little bit, and people have been saying that they're glad that you guys got on the bill. How did that all come to fruition?
Well, we did do our touring through Live Nation, and we were supposed to replace Rev Theory on November 8th, and then they had some sort of accident. I was told a guitar player got his hand cut up, so they had to drop off the whole tour.
Oh.
So we got an email from Five Finger at like midnight one night saying, "Can you guys come on the tour a month early and do the whole thing?" And we're like, if we can get everything put together. So I made a few quick phone calls, and it all ended up coming together.
Wow, great. What's the plan after you guys finish up that tour? Do you guys have anything in the works as far as jumping on another tour or doing some headlining dates?
Yeah, we're working on January and February right now. Yeah, we're gonna take Christmas off, New Year's off, and then
Right.
we'll head right back out. As far as who the tour's gonna be with, I'm not sure yet.
Uh-huh.
I usually just get emails and get told where we're going and what we're doing.
Gotcha. Now, how did the band come to form? You know, coming from a small town in Indiana, what's really the story behind Rains, so that people can kind of feel where your roots are from?
I started the band, I think, 11 years ago, and it was basically just me for the first 7 years. And I did a demo record, had no clue what I was doing, and it unfortunately sold 12,000 copies, which I wish I could get every single one of them back. I think the record's terrible, but whatever. And then through a weird process, I got hooked up with Evan's blues bass player, who was our bass player for 4 years, and actually produced another band's record, and ended up taking two of the guitar players from that band to join this band, and my brother was the drummer up until right before this tour. So as far as the writing, I do all the writing and recording. Then we actually just have the writing, I do all the writing and recording. Then we actually just have to replace the two members right before this tour, which added to the chaos of jumping on them off early.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah, so just my brother decided he didn't necessarily like the touring thing anymore, so he just didn't feel like coming out again. And then I guess our bass players up in blues bass player too, and they had some stuff scheduled and kind of conflicted with what we had going on, so
Mm-hmm.
and we knew it would come to that point at some point anyways. You can't be in two bands at once that are out on the road and doing stuff. So.
Right. Now, as far as the songs on Stories, are they songs from 11 years ago when you wrote it, or is it all new material, or do you kind of sprinkle a little bit of old stuff and new stuff?
Yeah, I think there's one song that was redone from the demo Stories version, but everything else is brand new on the record.
Okay. Now, the new single is "Look in My Eyes." I know it hit radio around mid-September, and you guys got some airplay on Octane as well for the single "Liar." What's really the motive behind "Look in My Eyes" as far as the lyrics go, and just your overall songwriting and where that comes from?
Look in My Eyes was actually about a former band member, and he was just kind of screwing up his life, and we were trying to help him through everything, but we just couldn't get through to him. So we had to let him go, and that's really what the song's about. It was kind of odd because I wrote the song right before we were gonna let him go, and he heard it before we fired him. And as soon as he heard it, he looked at me and he said, "That song's about me, isn't it?" He didn't record the song right.
Wow.
I did that, so it was a little awkward. But for the most part,
Very cool. Yeah, there is a lot of that out there, so it's refreshing to hear, some material like you guys. I know everyone's really excited about it. So what would you say, being in a band and writing and being a musician for the last 11 years, what's some advice that you would give as far as, how to really get started and really get your name out there to be recognized?
Yeah, it is. As I'm sure you know, I mean, this industry is changing a lot, and it's getting harder and harder and harder to get noticed, But
Uh-huh.
you have to keep at it, and you have to keep making the right decisions and keep the right team of people around you. And I think that's really what it comes down to. You're not gonna get, there's not gonna be some A&R guy that finds you at a bar and signs you that night, or that stuff doesn't exist anymore. So I think it's a lot more. The band has to do a lot more legwork than ever before.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we've always done. So luckily it's working out where we can do tours like this and not be on a major label and just handle everything ourselves.
Mm-hmm. With that being said, do you have any new music that you're listening to that you would recommend, that you would want some people to check out, or any, like, whether it's indie or major releases? What are you playing right now on your iPod?
For some reason, once I hit the road, I kind of lose touch of what new music. I think the coolest thing I've heard recently is a band called, I think it's Camel Red, and they have a new single out that I heard on Octane quite a bit, and I think that, they have a really cool sound. But I'm a 90s grunge scene junkie, so, a lot of what I still listen to is from that era, all the Alice in Chains and Pearl Jam and that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh. Were you able to check out the new documentary about Pearl Jam, the Pearl Jam 20?
No, I want to. I was it was getting advertised on my cable channel at home right before we left. But we left before I got a chance to see it.
Yeah, real good. Highly recommend it. I'm sure you'll enjoy it if you're into the 90s stuff. So what would you be doing if you weren't in the band right now? Would you still be working in music in some capacity, or would you be an architect? What would you be doing?
I was a tattoo artist for 7 years while I was doing the music thing, which worked out pretty good, because whenever I'd go on tour, I could walk away from tattooing, and as soon as I got back, I could, go back to tattooing. But I stopped doing that. I just didn't like it anymore, so, I don't know, I'm just so focused on music now, I don't know what else I'd be doing, to be honest.
Great. Well, are there any last words you want to, shout out to your fans, your new fans, old fans, people that are going to be hearing this interview?